Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. And if it's your first time here, I'm Janetta, an author who loves to draw. On my channel, I focus on combining storytelling with art. If that's something you're interested in, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let's get to it. SSMD So It Begins, Chapter 35. Cheaters Never Win. Eva. Sienna, I know this is going to be hard to hear, but you have to decide how you want to handle this. I will support whatever decision you make, but this is a decision that has to come from your gut. Eva, I don't know what to do. That's why I'm asking you. I know what I'd do, Sienna's friend Monica said as she continued to stuff her face. If I were you, I'd tell that no good father of yours that I knew he was cheating and milk him for everything I could get. I stood up. Excuse us, Monica. Sienna, let's step outside for a moment. Sienna followed me outside. Before I could say anything, she said, "Don't worry, Aunt Eva. I have no desire to blackmail my father." That's good to know. Now let's discuss reasonable choices. What was your initial gut reaction? To tell Mama. I still think she needs to know. I just don't want to be the one to tell her. Do you want me to tell her? Or be there when you tell her? Sienna opened her mouth, trying to force a decision out. I know this is hard. Do you want to think about it? The decision doesn't have to be made at this very moment. After Monica's last statement, Sienna didn't want to give her the opportunity to blackmail her father. She knew instantly what needed to be done and who she wanted to tell her mother. Eva, I need some time to decide. Can you drop us back off at Monica's? I'll call you later after I have time to think. I felt a bit uneasy, but I had to let her make the decision. I dropped them off back where I picked them up. I reminded Sienna of her promise to contact me as soon as she made a decision. Sienna. Sienna talked Monica into letting her back in the garage. She waited there alone for 20 minutes before her father entered and found her waiting. Seconds passed before Philip found his voice. Sienna, sweetheart. The tears that fell from her eyes stopped him from continuing. She walked past him and left. He now knew that she knew he was cheating, and she would make sure he carried the burden of having to tell her mother. Eva. A week later, Sienna asked me to pick her and PJ up. Philip and Sharon were going to see the marriage counselor. There, Philip was to tell Sharon the complete truth. Sienna wanted her and PJ there, waiting when her mother and father came out. She thought I should be there as well. When we arrived, Sharon and Philip had already gone in. I sat the kids down and then explained to the receptionist why we were there. PJ sat weeping, having been told by Sienna what was going on and why they were going to the marriage counselor's office. We then all waited, staring at the closed door. I suspected the kids knew that when the door opened, their lives would be changed forever. Chapter 36. One falls, another one rises. Sharon. Sharon sat staring at Philip, who just confessed to cheating again. They sat in the marriage counselor's office, which actually was now laughable, because as far as Sharon was concerned, there was no need to have wasted the time or the money. She was so tuned into the thoughts in her head that she didn't realize that Philip had run out of excuses and was now waiting for her to respond. The counselor called Sharon's name several times before she snapped back to the here and now. Do you have any questions for Philip? Or anything you need to say to him? Everyone, including Sharon, was stunned by her lack of reaction. She was normally volatile during these sessions, but right now she felt emotionally numb. I don't think there's anything left to say. She eyed the door and thought about her kids. How would they take the news? She just wanted to get home and hold them one last time before turning the world upside down. Without another word, Sharon stood and headed for the door. Wait, Philip jumped up. We still have time here. Sharon stopped, her hand resting on the doorknob. Philip, we may have time left, but trust me when I say we don't need it. Eva. Sienna, PJ, and I sat staring at the office door. Nervously, we all waited for it to open and everyone's world to change. Had Philip told Sharon about his cheating yet? How would Sharon take it? It wouldn't surprise me to hear a loud crash and Philip crying out in pain. So far, there was only silence. 5 minutes later, we all jumped when the door opened suddenly and Sharon stepped out. She looked surprisingly calm. Had Philip told her? Sienna, PJ, what are you two doing here? Sharon opened her arms as PJ rushed in them, crying. Philip and the marriage counselor appeared behind her. Seeing his children in pain brought tears to Philip's eyes. He felt horrible for hurting them all. Sienna wouldn't or couldn't look at him. She just walked over to Sharon and joined the group hug and said, "We are here to support you, Mama. We already know about Daddy." She said it like it was a dirty word. "Don't worry, Mama. PJ and I want you to know that we want you to decide what you want to do without worrying about us." The marriage counselor offered the remaining session time for the family to talk things through. Sharon agreed only because she thought it would be best for the kids. "Eva, do you mind joining us?" Sharon's request caught me off guard. I looked at the counselor to see if she thought it was a good idea and waited until she nodded her consent before agreeing. Sharon fought hard to hold it together during the session. At the end of it, she asked, "Eva, can you give us a ride home, please? Philip will be checking into a hotel." It was late when I finally arrived home. I was emotionally exhausted by the day's event. I was about to get ready for bed when the phone rang. "Now what?" I said before answering the phone. I barely said hello when Leah squealed in my ear, "Mario asked me to marry him." And I said yes. All I could think was, this couldn't possibly be a good thing. He had just gone through a divorce. Hope you enjoyed today's story. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Until next time, be and stay blessed.